Hi everyone, welcome to episode 6 of season 3 of JMC Jams, and today we're welcoming back two more students from our distant past, or a not so distant past. We've got Weekend Creative, who are Arabella and Ellie, and they've been doing some boot camps and photo workshops and art direction workshops with our students. We're just going to have a chat about what they did here, what they're doing now, and what a fun experience today has been. So, yeah, and it seems to be the theme of this season is welcoming students back, you know, and kind of like, because you guys just seem to want to work with us, and
yeah,
you know, I don't know, do you ever get to leave?
It's nice to be able to, like, because I would have loved someone to do this when we were students.
Yes.
So then, like, to get to do that is really cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
I mean,
Honestly,
we did it not too long ago at my old high school, so it just
Yeah.
kind of felt like a natural, like, oh yeah, it'd be nice to go back to this. You know,
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, your old high school is Del Mar,
Del Mar,
who
that's
we
right.
work with, and
That's
we've
right.
had on the podcast.
That's
and
great.
Yeah.
I love that.
Cool.
And they're actually coming back in 2 weeks.
Oh, we love that.
Yeah, we've got interns there now helping them
That's
out with
exciting.
their newspaper. So
Wow, yeah.
So it
That's
kind of all
awesome.
goes around. Of
Yeah.
course, one
Full circle.
over there, the engineer, he's Dilma.
No way.
He's
Aw.
a Don. So we've got two Dons in the
love that.
There you go.
Such an interesting mascot, but
Yeah.
you know, so
Oh.
Don, Spartan, you know, they're all like,
Yeah.
they're all human.
There's
Yeah.
something there, I guess. So yeah, you guys met when you were here
Yes.
as students, right?
Yeah.
So tell us a
That's
bit
correct.
about that. What happened?
Yeah,
How did you hit it off?
so we met in an intro to studio lighting course. Ellie was doing graphic design. I was doing advertising, so took a lot of classes with you, Professor Dela Cruz. And yeah, I was doing a minor in photography, and you were just doing a bunch of electives, a lot of different creative stuff, and so we met in that class. And for that class, we had to have a partner for the entire semester. You were going to work on your own assignments, but the other person would assist you. And she sat in front of me. I complimented her on her bag, and she was like, "Do you want to be partners?" And then
Yeah.
that's how we came to be partners for the semester. Yeah, and I think it was a good like precursor, like, you know, a good indication that we worked really well together.
Yeah.
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 And of course, you took some advertising classes as well.
Yeah,
That's right.
I did
Yeah.
as an elective. I think I
Yeah.
took intro or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of them.
No, you were in my class.
I was,
Yeah,
yeah.
you were, which was it's a class that doesn't exist anymore. It's not that
Really?
it's been gone for so long, but it's
Wow.
like, yeah.
I
No,
know,
it's
we
just
were
'cause
just saying we
changed
graduated,
everything.
what, almost 9?
2016.
Yeah, 9 years ago. So, yeah.
20, oh, yeah, 26.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah.
26. Oh my gosh, coming up.
I know,
yeah,
I
crazy.
know.
But yeah, no, you took
Yeah.
my 125, which was
Yes.
the pre-runner to the class that
Yeah.
you guys have been working in,
Yeah.
which we'll talk
Okay,
about in a little
cool.
while.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Kind of, we were trying to cram too much stuff in there, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
of course, the same thing has happened now. We're trying to cram too much into 3 units. So
Yeah.
we're growing. We develop other things on the basis
Yeah.
of that. So
Yeah.
so you guys met here while you were like sort of doing your photography, and
Yeah.
you just went
Yeah.
off and did your own thing.
Yeah, well, I was working for Content Magazine, local magazine at the
Yeah.
time. I had an internship, and then that turned into doing some design work, but also like I was part-time managing subscriptions and all that kind of stuff. And then I was like, oh, Arabella, come work at this magazine with me. And so she was interning, and then we were doing a lot of social content together. We started doing fashion shoots together. And that was where we kind of developed our different roles of art director
And
photographer. And then we just wanted to make work for ourselves. You know, sometimes you just like, you're working for someone else and they have a lot of ideas, and those ideas are great, but you're like, oh, I want to do things how I want to do them. And so we just started shooting outside of work for fun. And I was like, let's email some local companies, see if they'll give us free product. And we emailed It's Ice Cream, and they were like, we have specific photos we need, so we'll pay you. And it was $500, and that didn't even really cover the cost of the shoot, but it made us realize that people would pay us to do something like that. And so we were like, okay, I guess if we're gonna get paid, we better.
I mean, we thought it was a lot of money. but-
Yeah, to us,
to
like
us
we're
at that
just
time.
out of college, so we're like $500 is like a
So
lot.
much.
So we're like, the IRS is gonna come for us, so we.
We better legalize
We better
ourselves.
be legal. So we just formed an LLC on my bedroom floor and started going to craft fairs and networking and building our client list. Didn't really think at that point it would become a full-time thing, but we just started getting more clients, and so eventually quit our jobs, and now we do it full-time, and now it's been almost 8 years.
It's gonna be in January.
Yeah. So yeah.
Hence the name Weekend Creative, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we were working on the weekends and Mondays. Monday nights we would meet up and work together, and
That's cool. And of course, it's become such a brand as well. I mean, you guys have got a really good social presence, and it really kind of shows off. You know, that kind of vibrant vibe that you bring to the work that you do with your clients, but also the spec work that you use to kind of supplement all of this as well.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And is it, I mean, do you feel that that's kind of, that Weekend Creative is your personality too?
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely like our visual personality in a way.
We didn't really think about it because when we started, we were just like, oh, Weekend Creative, it's fun and it makes sense because of our story. We also had other names, and we took a poll between our friends and family. We were like, which name should we choose? And everyone said that one. But as our brand has developed, we realized that it also describes the style of our work, which is kind of like a bright, sunny day. We use hard light most of the time. Every once in a while, clients have specifics. But if we're doing our own work, it's always like a hard light. It has fun shadows. Usually it's pretty colorful. And I think that feels like a weekend.
Yeah.
So it kind of fits
in California
on accident. Yeah, it wasn't intentional, but that it worked out. So.
Yeah. And I think it's even translated because over the years we also have gotten into education, which is why we're here today.
Yeah.
And now in a different way, it's like, well, we really want to promote building a sustainable business and having good work-life balance as much as we possibly can. And so it's like we're now taking back our weekends, our free weekends. We're not creative on the weekends anymore.
We don't work on the weekends unless it's like a very extreme situation. And so and teaching other people how they can run a business where they can also have their freedom and their flexibility in their schedule of working for themselves and not having to work 24/7.
No, that's it. And I mean, your situation actually highlights an issue really that I feel that we need to address and to kind of embed really within, at least within our school. I mean, I'm sure similar things happen elsewhere too. But it's the very fact that you guys had this idea about, you were entrepreneurial, right? You thought, well, okay, we're working for a magazine, we might do some agency work, but ultimately you want to work for yourselves. But we didn't provide you with those skills. And I think that is something that we really do need to have either within a course or create a new course that kind of talks about it, because our emphasis has always been, let's drive you towards either agencies or in-house kind of work. But freelance, right? And freelance is everywhere.
And growing.
Yeah,
I forget the percentage, but I was reading something that a large percentage of the workforce will be freelance pretty soon. And it's just continuing to go that direction. So, and I, especially in the graphic design space, that wasn't presented as an option even.
Even in the photography minor too.
And in the photography, it wasn't presented, the photography department was very you're going to be a fine art photographer.
Yes.
Yeah.
It wasn't commercial work was barely touched on, at least when we were there.
Maybe in my retouching class, there was where I was retouching a product or using plates and stuff.
I had one class that was a little bit more, but most of them were not, and that might be different now. It's been several years. But it wasn't presented as this is a viable career path, you know?
Yeah.
So, and then, you get into you're working with clients and suddenly you're like, well, I have to have a contract. So what goes in that? And
how do I
how do I price? And how do I market myself? And how do I even make sure my business is staying legal and up to date on all the different, forms you have to fill out and things you have to do?
Admin.
Yeah, how do you do bookkeeping? What does that even mean, So, there's a lot to learn, and we had to kind of learn it on the go, literally in the moment.
Trial and error, which is what prompted us to get into education, because it was everything that we wish we had known or that we were learning, we were people need to know about this.
So let's talk a little bit about that, because you guys do a lot of work with Adobe. And, we're a creative campus and everything, so all of these pieces kind of fit in nicely together. But I really want to spend a couple of minutes on that, because, again, it emphasizes the networks that you build when you're here, right? So tell us a bit about your Adobe connections.
So, being in the advertising program, I actually really loved a lot of the classes that you taught because you really facilitated like networking and community and like making friends in the moment and in college. And that's exactly what happened. I had a really good friend. She's actually still a really, really close friend. She lives in New York now, but she went on to go work at Adobe after college. And you know, she just hit us up one time as we were building our business, and she was like, I really want to feature you guys in this blog. And so she interviewed us. We got to go to the Adobe campus. And then one thing led to another, and she was like, actually, you guys would be really great for live streaming. And so she connected us with the Adobe Live team, and that's how we kind of started streaming and like teaching and like, you know, especially as it relates to like the creative and retouching, like the process. And I mean, that has been since 2019. So,
Wow.
I mean, what a great connection there.
That's
become
it's been a very
really
steady income stream.
very
for us.
significant income.
Not only live streaming, but also
all the other things.
I feel like when you work with people at Adobe, then internally they refer you to
Yes.
other things. So then we've had sponsorships, and we've filmed 2 other courses for them, and like a whole bunch of other things.
They've invited us to Adobe MAX, like
we're
we're
going
doing
to Max
this year.
for free.
We're
and
streaming at it, you know, things like that.
So things like that, like like those connections lead to other connections, and then it's like this domino effect.
Yeah.
And
how amazing that it started from just a friend that, you know,
at,
Here
at
at
college,
at
at
college,
San Jose,
yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
love it.
And of course, Jasmine, she was
Incredible.
on her first New York trip.
Yeah, that's right.
Loved it. And, you know, she's always said, this is where I want to end up. And
Yeah,
that's what
and now
did.
she is. Yeah,
Which is really
I
cool.
love it.
Yeah.
It's so awesome.
So that's a New York trip that still goes on.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
I don't do it anymore, sadly. Belen does now.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, still a thing. So any students who are preparing to go this year, just be aware that those connections you make and you befriend
Very, very
are
important.
always really
Yeah.
important,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And the connections to New York, because that's why Jasmine is there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So let's fast forward, because Juan just came and gave me the 5-minute warning. So, and as usual, I could sit here and chat to you guys all day.
Yeah.
But you came back to do a boot camp in 2 parts for one of my classes and one of Belen's classes on photography and retouching and art direction, right?
Yeah.
So what have you taught the students?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think we kind of had to start with a little bit of our journey and, you know, really go through kind of our process, our creative process, you know, all from the beginning of like pre-production and art direction and how that goes into execution and then finalizing the images. So we did that as a presentation. And then we had a demo, which was very fun. Had to learn how to pivot really quickly
You did.
in some
You
moments.
did.
You know, I feel like a lot of freelancing and even just commercial photography in general is a lot of troubleshooting and pivoting when things go haywire, you know? So that was exciting. So we got to do, you know, demo for both of the classes today. And then today was the second part, which was all about overseeing the students as they were kind of working on their shoot and their images. So
Yeah. And they did great.
yeah.
Yeah, and we gave them a brief, so they already have something to work on in their team.
I mean, they're fantastic. They like came prepared with their products, and some of them picked amazing products. I was like, wow,
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah.
You know, just walking through the room, the energy was tangible.
It
You
was
know?
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's fun if you're, you know, used to kind of sitting in class to get up and do something and work with teams and have that collaboration. I think
Because
it's
that's
really
that's
fun.
what we do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was like the magic that you injected into that process for them,
Yeah.
which was really great to see. I mean, they were there, they were hands-on, you
It
guys
was
were like sort of
fun,
dipping in and
yeah.
helping them. And so now they're going to like curate, they're going to work on the post-production, and then
Yeah.
just very quickly turn these around into a series of 3 ads.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
we
It'll
love
be
that.
cool to see it all come together. Yeah.
well, we'll definitely keep you guys in the loop there in the
Yeah.
process. So, it's been fantastic, honestly, and I've got ideas. And, you know, we were just talking a bit before about how we can like sort of, I don't know, develop.
Replicate this or kind of build it out a little
Do it
bit
different
more.
ways,
Yeah,
yeah.
totally.
Yeah, for sure.
So there's a bunch of things, and I'm sure we're not going to see the end of you guys. So,
We're around. Yeah.
We're around, definitely.
and that's fantastic. And actually, this is what happens really within our programs is that the Bay Area does offer opportunities if
Totally.
you look for them.
Totally.
Yeah.
And so we do have a lot of graduates who will stay like you guys have
Yeah.
and don't need to go anywhere.
No,
Yeah.
well, that's the
because-
beauty of product photography. It's that like a lot of the times we do have, you know, product being shipped to us. So we work with clients from all over. So
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. which is amazing. And again, like I said, it's just a brief intro into you guys and what you've done and how you've met and how you got here and what's been going on today. But we could talk for longer.
Forever.
But we don't want to because podcasts get really boring after a certain point in time. So,
That's true.
Yeah. So let's call it a wrap. And
Great.
thank you both.
Thank you
Thank you.
for having
Let's do
us.
this again soon.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Well, thank you, Arabella and Ellie. And next week we'll try and get another alum. I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You'll have to.
Who we can fish out of
Keep
that
the train
pond.
going.
Yes.
If any of you are actually bothering to listen or watch or whatever, then just drop me an email if you want to come onto
Love it.
onto the JMC Jams.
Yes.
Until then, this is JMC Jams. We'll see you soon.